Good evening, race fans, and welcome to round 6 of the Pro Street Stock Series, sponsored by East Action Sports. Today, we're at the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's guaranteed to be a good time as the pro drivers will be heading out for 240 laps around the half-mile old-school circuit for the Street Stock Showdown. No fast repairs, 3 sets of tires, and always a broadcasted event with live race control. On behalf of TeamGoonSquad.com, I'm James East in the booth bringing the action 1080p 60 frames a second as we get ready for single car qualifying out here today. And we do have a new attendee here as well. We've got Jeff Edgar, the number 7 machine, making his way out on track for the very first time this season. He is currently a one-man team with Fastlane Motorsports. So good to see Edgar out here today racing against his son, Brett Edgar. And looking forward to see what the guys can do. Again, these drivers are racing for both their individual points championship, their team championship as well. So team owners reserve their car numbers at the beginning of the season, and then they have the ability to swap drivers in and out depending on who they feel like putting in a car each and every week. So you may see some different names and faces in different machines every week, but all these guys, again, are out there trying to do their best to bring home some points for the team, as Edgar, the number 7 machine, is good enough for 11th place. Let's see who else is going out on track. Let's talk about Andrew Neri, the number 8 machine, racing for Perkins Motorsports. Neri is going to be monitoring both his in-car temperatures tonight as well as his sim racing rig monitors temperatures, as he actually had a real-life coolant leak in his desktop computer before going into tonight's race. So Neri said that his machine sprung a leak, had a very high pressure coming out of the pump, and absolutely blasted all over his room, the ceiling. There's just a royal mess everywhere. So let's see if Neri can have good luck both on and off the track as he qualifies 15th out of about 20 drivers here today. Jacob Feskinen with Lodo Racing, number 926, the team captain. He's making his way out. We've got 20 racers here today. And looking forward to another great round from all of our competitors. It's been a great season so far. These guys have shown what it takes to be in the Pro Series. And the question is here, are we going to see a caution-filled night? Or are the guys going to keep it nice and clean and green around the racetrack, as Feskinen, the number 926, his opening time was good enough for 7th place. We've got Matt Baird, the number 19 machine. He's going out for his timed laps. Let's see what he can do this time around, as his first lap appears to be invalidated. So let's see what Baird is able to do. And unfortunately, he will not put down a qualifying time here today. At this point, it appears that everybody that has qualified has done so. And they're going to use this opportunity to make any final adjustments to the sets that they needed. Again, this is an open setup league, so drivers putting in the work all throughout the week leading up to tonight. And let's talk about that. Kenny Tripp, one of the fill-in drivers for Hayward Racing, I believe is the team name, puts it on pole tonight. So well done to Tripp. His teammate Mike, I'm on me roof high, Hayward, has got to be excited. And we did get confirmation that as Hayward Racing, again, on top of pole here today. A very well done for the job for the fill-in driver. Now, we touched on points earlier on here today. The current team points, Droppin' Bombs Racing leading the Team Chase Challenge with 183 points. Lodo Racing is in second place with 126 points. And then you've got Devil Core Racing in third with 114 points. Cycling further back through the teams, you've got East Action Sports fourth, Hayward Racing fifth, and then Perkins Motorsports sixth out there. And things are still shaking up for the individual car championship as well. Again, these guys are racing for both their teams as well as their individual points. as leading the individual points chase. The number 48 machine is on top. The number 28, second in points. He's about 8 points back. And then you've got the number 1 machine with 60 points in third. So that is 3 Droppin' Bombs racing cars running 1, 2, 3. Then you go back to Jacob Feskinen owned number 21 car piloted by James SoundCloud Silvers. It is third in points with 56 points. So things still really shaking up here. So far, again, the team championship, it is $190 on the line for the team championship. And we just got more confirmation. Hayward Racing, they've qualified first, second, and third tonight. So Kenny Tripp, Patrick Sullivan, Mason Foster, all racing for Hayward Racing, have found some speed later on in the season. Now, if these guys are going to be able to survive tonight here at Wilkesboro and finish as they start, that could be huge for the owner of Hayward Racing. Right now, Hayward Racing has 23 points. And granted, we still have a lot of racing left to go. It may be a little bit tough to get all the way back up to front as the season progresses, but that's got to be a good start for the guys. Again, this week we're at North Wilkesboro for round 6 of season 1. Next week we go to the Milwaukee Mile, September 16th for 150 laps. Then we go back to Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 1.5 miler. And then what I'm excited for, round 9 on September 30th, Daytona International Speedway road course for these competitors. So it's been good to see things kind of getting mixed up. And different races being held, as last week we were at Dirt Bristol, which was quite exciting. We saw a bit of a bloodbath at the dirt race at the Coliseum. We got confirmation that Patrick Sullivan is not with Hayward Racing. I believe Sullivan, is one of the Droppin' Bombs racers. We're going to try and take a quick look here and see. Now, the number 16, that is a Devil Core racing car. So we've got Hayward Racing going first and third in qualifying with Devil Core in second. So good to see some of the guys out here today and kind of mixing it up. And we still have Steven Rex out on track, number 28 machine. Not sure how, not sure why, as he's already well completed his qualifying laps. Put himself up into 8th place, coming out a little bit late. Now with these 10-minute single car qualifying sessions, what you see at times is drivers waiting for the track to possibly cool down before they go out for their qualifying run, trying to eke out the fastest possible time. And then another opportunity for these drivers to make a little bit of final setup changes here for North Wilkesboro. So we had 18 drivers go out for qualifying times. 2 drivers unable to put down a clean qualifying lap here at North Wilkesboro. Let us know in the comments, are we expecting to see some good green flag runs, or is it going to be a bit of a bloodbath? As we have put a poll in the chat for all of our viewers, let us know what you think. Is it going to be a good green flag day, or is it going to be Bristol dirt all over again? And speaking of our fans at home, thank you all so much that tune in each and every week, supporting your favorite drivers, your favorite series, and dare I say, your favorite broadcaster. We could not do it without you guys, and we are oh so appreciative of everybody that tunes in and supports us, as well as our drivers that show up every week, putting on the best show they possibly can. And a lot of great racing still left to go in the season. Again, we are on round 6 out of 12, so we have reached the halfway mark. And out of the 5 races we've had so far, we've had 3 different winners. But let's get ready to take a look at tonight's grid. Starting up front, Tripp in the 116 machine, starting on pole. Sullivan, the number 16, starting second. Foster, the number 9 machine, starting third. Babinger driving number 48 machine, 4th on the grid. McRae and the DVR number 99 starting 5th. Michael Venemy with Lodo Racing starting 6th, the number 84. Feskinen in the 926 starting 7th on tonight's grid. Then we go back a little bit further to Rex, the number 28 machine. He is starting 8th. Edgar and their Brett Edgar, the number 98, starting 9th. We got to differentiate because his father is out on track today. SoundCloud Silver's the number 21 starting 10th. Proctor and the number 36 machine starting 11th. Shutters and the number 42 machine starting 12th on tonight's grid. We've got Tyler the Weapon Evans, the number 553 starting 13th. Jeff Edgar and the number 7 starting 14th. Friley in the 06 starting 15th. Neri with the coolant problems in the number 8 machine starting 16th. Song in the number 53 machine starting 17th. Perkins in the number 6 machine starting 18th. Then you've got Bronson in the number 1 starting 19th. And finally, Matt Baird in the number 19 will round out our 20-car grid as Kai Demers shows on grid. But he's actually our race control here tonight. An often thankless position in all the leagues we broadcast for. As the votes are rolling in right now, it's 33% green flags all day, and 67% of our viewers saying it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. So we'll see what happens as Kenny Tripp, Patrick Sullivan, our front row here today at North Wilkesboro, as we wait to get everybody gridded up and underway, as now we are getting ready to start this party. It is Hayward Racing and Devil Corps starting side by side, but Tripp has a little bit of help with Mason Foster, the number 9 machine behind him, the 2 teammates. These drivers, again, they're racing with open setups, no fast repairs, so if you bend your race car, you are done for the evening. And 40% fuel allotment, and again, 3 sets of tires, so tire wear could be a factor if we get those green flag runs that we're looking for. It'll be interesting to see what our competitors are going to be able to do out here today. Is this one of the tighter tracks that we've raced so far this season? It very well may be the tightest racetrack we do race all season. As we look at the future races, this is the shortest track we'll be on. We've got the Milwaukee Mile. That's easy enough. That's a mile. And we've got USA International Speedway coming up on October 7th. Other than that, it's looking like 1.5 milers and the dreaded road course. As our drivers take to their side lap, we're expecting the pace car to come in this time by. And then we're going to get ready for 240 laps of non-stop action. Hopefully not an eye-pacing event. Pace car is in, away we go. It's Tripp and Sullivan side by side out front, and then Foster and Babinger. As, Sullivan gets a little bit of a wiggle there, and the number 16 machine able to hold on to it. Is that going to allow Babinger, the number 48 machine, to try and slide up the inside line as the caution comes out in absolutely horrific style? We've made it 2 laps, and everyone has run out of talent. Let's see where it started here today, because that looked like a good one. So we know Proctor, Neri, Shutters, Edgar, and Perkins were all involved. Let's see what happens here. We're watching Proctor, number 36 machine, as that shows one of the first cars involved. And then Proctor dives it in too deep, gets into the inside of Shutters. Jeff Edgar, number 7 machine, gets collected. Ryan Perkins gets collected. Andrew Neri gets collected. So that's going to take out, We're going to watch that one once more from Jeff Edgar's point of view, because that was spectacular. We saw a little bit of airtime rotation there. Let's take another look at it. You're watching the number 7 machine of Jeff Edgar, the first time making it out here today. Unfortunately, not a good impression for him, as ahead of him. And then somehow iRacing doing iRacing things, flips the number 7 machine up and over. But man, what a rough start already. We're going to get a word from race control to see what happens here. As we await to see what race control's call is going to be. If I had a guess, that'll be an EOL on Proctor. It's hard to tell though from the camera angle. I'm not sure if shutters came down or Proctor came up. Up front, it is still Kenny Tripp, accompanied by his teammate Mason Foster. As in pit lane, you've got Song, Neri, and Perkins still in pit lane trying to get some repairs done on their race machines to get them hammered back in shape. But that is not a good start for our drivers as the caution comes out for the first time here today. We did get confirmation from race control. Number 42 will receive the EOL for coming down onto Proctor. The green flag will fly once more. It's Tripp and Foster out front, but keep an eye on Sullivan, the number 16 machine. Now he has the inside line, and he's accompanied by Babinger and McRae, two very fast and talented short track racers. As there's a little bit of wall contact going on already. But look at that, it's the two teammates out front, Tripp and Foster, trying to get a bit of a breakaway from Sullivan. And let's see what's going to happen here as we go a little bit further back. You've got Babs, number 48 machine, putting the pressure on Patrick Sullivan's number 16 machine, looking to work his way up into that podium contention. Feskin in the number 926, he's got a bit of internet problems here. Hopefully gets that corrected as quickly as he possibly can. But now we're seeing a little bit of side-by-side action. You've got Sullivan and Babinger going side-by-side. And then you've got McRae and Feskin do a little bit of side-by-side action as well. Other than that, most of the field's running single file here and trying to click off some laps, burn through some fuel. We're going to cycle back a little bit further as Feskin is trying to put some work on McRae, the number 99 machine. Looks like Feskin is going to have the position up 2 spots. Now, we talked to Tyler McRae before tonight's race, and he was not as comfortable as he normally is out on track. Just not coming to grips with the track here today, and not as fast as he normally feels. Now McRae has been one of the dominant drivers all season. So he may have to use this one as a bit of a saving round, trying to save onto some points. As I have a big blink. Babs, the number 48 machine, has worked his way up into third behind the two Hayward Racing teammates of Tripp and Foster. And then lap traffic is going to come into play here. Looks like the guys get through lap traffic nice and easy so far. And that's got to be exciting for all the drivers trying to cut through traffic already early on to the race. We're only on lap 14, and we're putting drivers lap or laps down. Now again, there was a rule update this season that lap traffic is expected to yield the position to your race leaders, with the caveat that if they are battling for position, it is up to the leaders to try and cut a hole through traffic. So we're going to watch and see if Kenny Tripp is going to have any issues here. As right now it is Tripp, Foster, Babinger running 1, 2, and 3. As look at this, Babinger making a move up the inside of Foster. Can he make it stick in the number 48 machine, or is Foster going to be able to carry that a little bit more momentum around that middle to high section of racetrack? The two Hayward Racing teammates running that very dark green paint scheme with the pronoun Goon Squad logo right on the hood. And look at this, side by side for second. It's Babinger and Foster, while Sullivan, number 16 machine, is watching and waiting to see if he can maybe pick up a spot here as well. Now that we're going, we're clicking off some laps. We made it 18 laps, 20 or 19 laps, excuse me, into this main event here today. As Sullivan has a bit of a moment, able to hold on to it. Up front, Tripp has extended his lead to about 0.6 of a second, as he will once again come up on lap traffic here at this short racetrack. I believe that may be Neri, the number 8 machine he's about to catch up to. Kind of hard to tell here. We've made it 20 laps, 1 caution so far. I think every lap we can get under green will improve our chances of making it to the end with a little bit less cautions. Again, cautions always breed cautions. As now Babin's number 48 machine is starting to catch up to Tripp, your race leader. He is whittled away about 0.3 of a second to catch up to Tripp. As we're going to take you on board with Jordan Babinger, pilot of the number 48 machine. As you've got Andrew Neri yielding the high line to the race leaders, doing his best to get out of the way, but a bit of a moment as Babinger almost gets into lap traffic. This is such a tight racetrack for everybody to try and yield a position. There's just really not anywhere you can go safely. Every 60 seconds on track, another minute passing for these drivers as they are white-knuckling all around the racetrack. Babinger may have lost a little bit of time there to Tripp, not able to cut through traffic quite as quickly. But now that he's got that clean racetrack, I expect a whole lot of pressure on the 116 from the number 48 of Babinger. But Mike Hayward, the owner of Hayward Racing, has got to be happy to have cars this high up here today and to lead several, if not most of the laps here today. 26 laps in, 1 caution so far, but here comes Babinger, the number 48 machine. He's going to pressure Tripp hard. Now these drivers were warned going into tonight to take it easy. You can't win a race in the opening laps, but you can absolutely lose it, as we saw several drivers completely wad up their race cars here early tonight. As it looks like Babinger may have taken that to heart. He's going to follow a long Tripp here and maybe just hot lap for a while. He knows he has the pace, but does he have the long run speed as the tire wear starts to become a factor? Are we going to see Babinger try and make a move here? Is he going to be or is he going to be following behind Tripp and the Hayward Racing 116 machine? As we did get a report from our pit lane reporter that Proctor, number 36 machine, was having a tough time getting through his teammates out on track. So good to see Proctor out there charging hard, not giving up, never surrendering, and that's what's important here at the Pro Series. Trying to score your team as much points as you possibly can. It is the top 15 drivers scoring points tonight, and Proctor, and number 36 machine, is right on the bubble, running 15th out on track. Let's see if he's going to be able to hold on to it and try and score Perkins Motorsports a few more much-needed points. And the other caveat is only the top 2 drivers for your team score points in a round. As it is 3 different teams currently running 1, 2, 3, Tripp, Babinger, and Feskinen. Feskinen's moved up 4 spots, getting around Foster and the number 9 machine, as well as Sullivan. Sullivan and Foster can't get away from each other, and they're still battling side by side. Feskinen has another big blink, but I believe he's ahead of traffic, so he should be okay here. As here we go, they are still battling hard and trying to catch up to Feskinen as they are still battling side by side for that 4th place spot. We're going to go a little bit further. That is the race leader, Tripp, getting a whole lot of pressure from Babinger as they go side by side for the race lead. Babinger looking down the inside line, Tripp on the high line in the 116. Who's going to be able to cut through traffic the easiest here? As they're going to go 3 wide at Wilkesboro. That was Song, the pilot of the number 53 machine, racing for East Action Sports, doing his best to navigate out of the way. Such a white-knuckle moment when the race leaders are going side by side. They don't leave a whole lot of room for you to make your way through. And look at this, they're still side by side. We're only 40 laps in, and these guys are putting on a show here today. It is a game of who can navigate both the traffic and the track the best. As the next lap, maybe 2, they will once again have to punch their way through traffic. Very impressive to see the clean racing up front. Everybody's running very clean. Let's look at the current hard charger on track, though. That's going to be Jonathan Bronson, number 1 machine, somebody that is no stranger to a little bit of bumper taps if need be, as now he is behind team captain Tyler McRae, number 99 machine. Bronson, he is up 11 spots from 19th, and he has worked his way up into 8th. Behind him, he's got SoundCloud Silvers and Brett Edgar, the number 98 machine. As again, these guys have every single point to try and contend with, as it looks like McRae, the team captain, is going to allow Bronson and the number 1 machine by. Silvers, number 21, he's going to look up the inside line against McRae. We've seen these 2 drivers have great battles early on. Neither one does. Oh, a big moment from Silvers. Almost loses it. Edgar has the check up, almost gets involved. As we were saying, those Silvers and McRae have put on a great show earlier this season. They've been racing hard against each other, but just on that fine line between keeping it clean and being overly aggressive. So let's see what they can do here today. They put on another fantastic show. About to be a 3-car battle. Silvers, McRae, and Brett Edgar all running right with each other here. It seems like our race leaders have a chance to breathe. Babinger out front, Tripp second, Feskin in third, Sullivan fourth, Foster in fifth. Oh, McRae, and I believe that was that Rex or is that Brett Edgar? Got into each other, no caution. Yes, that was Brett Edgar, the number 98 machine. Gets it for Tyler McRae. McRae's going to shuffle back and use up a little bit more tire than he wanted here, but a spectacular save from McRae, the number 99 machine. And I've got to say, that's probably one of the best parts about broadcasting and spectating the Pro Series is you got some drivers that can get away with a little bit more aggressive racing than in other series, especially the open iRacing series. And just leads to a great show all the way around. We started with 20 drivers, and we have 15 still in the lead lap. Everybody's still out there racing after that early incident on lap 2. As Bronson, the number 1 machine, our current hard charger, he's worked his way up 12 positions. In front of Bronson, you've got Vandermeed and Foster. As, oh no, we may have another incident out on track. And the caution does come out for Jeff Edgar, the number 7 machine. Let's see what happens here. You're watching Jeff Edgar, the number 7. Ooh, looks like the number 553 just gets into him. That was Tyler Evans, but let's back that one up. That's a tough one to call. It's tough to see if Evans came in too hot. Let's check another camera angle here. So you're watching Edgar, the number 7, then watch the number 553 that comes down like a heat-seeking moisture missile, dives it up the inside. I think he just barely made contact there. That's a tough one to call. We're going to try one more here. Just ever so slightly gets him to the back quarter panel of the number 7 machine. And what we're looking for here is look at the line on the racetrack. Yeah, I think that's going to be Tyler Evans, number 553 machine, that may feel the brunt of race control's wrath here, as most of the field comes into pit lane. And the number 553 will receive the EOL on that one. Tyler Evans will get an EOL penalty. If you're just tuning in, welcome as we bring out the caution for the second time of round 6 of the Pro Series, as we've made it 54 laps in. We had one spectacular incident on lap 2, and then we had another small incident just now on lap 54, where Tyler the Weapon Evans, the number 553 machine,